Hey everyone, it's been a couple of years since I've done a bit of a run through on the camper. I think the last time I did this was about this time 3 years ago in 2020, a few months into our ownership. I did a bit of a run through of, how we were using it, some of the things. 3 years on, we've been on and off with our usage. We've had a little boy since then who's almost 3 now, so we've sort of seen big changes in our world. So I thought I'd give you a bit of rundown of some of the things we've done to the camper, some of the changes, and a bit of an overview. So first things first, not a lot's changed everywhere. We've been really happy with it. At the same time, it does have some of its limitations and challenges with the family, which I'll talk a little bit through. We've bought that crock bin and got that set up. That's been awesome for the rubbish and whatnot. Over here, not an awful big change. I did move to using lithiums within here, which has made a massive difference. We're away on a trip now for about a week. I really don't need to pull the solar panel out, unless it's 4 or 5 day trip these days. So it's been great for those weekend away trips, no longer needing to chase sun after a few days. The Matic fridge is still going really strong, no problems with that. This is all pretty standard here. We do have the older style X3, so we actually have this area here. This is great for charging areas. I noticed a new one that sort of finishes off a bit earlier. Still using an espresso pod machine, great for morning campers. We store, this is sort of our booze drawer, and we sort of store this as our general utility drawer. We honestly don't use the stove too much. I tend to just cook everything on the barbecue or the campfire. But it's there. We have used it, every now and then. So we do leave that up and running. I'll do a bit of an inside tour a bit later on and show you the changes, especially with the toddler. But back drawer, I've moved to using these canvas bags. It fits 4 of these really easily. This is where we sort of keep as our grocery drawer, plus a bit of spare water. Works out really well. I really love that part. I've got the cage on the top here that I've installed. Sort of when it flips down, it makes a nice little makeshift kind of area to dry our towels. But it's great for storing things like firewoods on trips. I am one of the people that had the early X3, so I did have the ladder problem. You can tell because the older style ladders have the 4 steps when this has the 3. Basically, for those that are unfamiliar, the challenge was getting this bed level. Even on perfectly flat ground, it was very difficult at times. You'd almost have to dig holes, which, it's fine if you're camping on Fraser Island or in the bush, but you go to sort of a place like this, a sort of manicured, very nice place. We're down in Grady's in South Coast New South Wales. They don't want to see you digging a hole. So the problem was that it wasn't short enough. And even if you sort of played with the airbag height, you might be able to get the front part level, but you'd sort of be stuck with a bed like this, so that you could never kind of get down level. And then if you ended up getting, say, a campsite like that rose towards the edge, you'd have no chance of getting it level. So big complaint, but Patriot came to the party. They've redesigned that ladder. They retrofitted it for us. It's come up really good. Super happy with that. And nowadays, we can sort of set up in 10-15 minutes and not have much of a drama with the bed leveling, so that's been really handy. I ended up not getting the extended drawbar when I bought the camper because at the time we had limitations with space in our house, but since then I paid and got it updated just so I can install that extended hitch. That's the new hitch, the jockey wheel. Huge change. The Patriot one that sort of sits on the top here that you come and take on and off, it's so frustrating to use. It's good, it does a job, but it just takes time and effort. This thing, quick setup, quick to through. It's got good 2 big wheels on it, so even a place like this I can sort of park it and then just wheel it quickly around myself, even to the spot that I want it set up in. Look, like I said, we cook everything on our Weber. It's really the main attraction of the front of the camper and just comes out handy. These stainless steel brands, I think it's K-On make these. These are awesome side tables to sort of help you cook. You'll spend a lot of time up on here. Also got one of those Chaos lights. I've spun that around, but that's really great for lighting up big campsites here as well. So yeah, let's have a bit of an overview of the outside. Just a quick return to the inside. So yeah, this is a setup with obviously 2 adults. We've got the bed set up there. We did go and buy a mattress topper. It's about an 80mm latex topper, the standard Patriot mattress. No good. So getting that on top has made the world of difference, much more comfortable. I installed these, both a USB and a cigarette lighter socket here. While you do have this sort of pop-up, you know, power board with USB, it does require you to run the inverter. So just inefficient. This is great, charges your phones, runs off the normal 12 volt, not a hugely complicated install, allows you just to charge your phones at night. It's great for fans. I've got a couple of those fans, they're awesome in these sort of hot weather, but at the same time, awesome for an electric blanket. So I sort of store an electric blanket in here, and yeah, on the cold nights, throw that on before you go to bed and you sort of get in there toasty. Other than that, it's all pretty standard, except we also now have the kids' bed, which I'll set up and cut to. It's the kids' bed set up. So for the first sort of 2 and a bit years, we had a little bed up here, a little cot up here. I can send the link to those that are interested in that. The baby slept in, worked really well, but obviously as he outgrew that, we sort of tried a few different things, and ultimately we ended up going and retrofitting the kids' bed onto it. So you can see it just sort of adds this additional part here. Look, it's, you know, obviously it makes it slightly more difficult, but ultimately it's a great space for toddlers to sleep while they're still in with you. If you've sort of got teenagers and stuff, they're likely, you know, just want to set up a swag out here. But, you know, this has been really handy for us and really helped us transition him as he sort of got older. And it's a great sort of spot. All right, so I think it's time for me just to wrap the video up. Thanks for watching, everybody. Look, you know, my overall thoughts are we're now sort of 3.5 years into our ownership. We purchased this before we knew we were having my son. You know, we're someone that loves to camp in, you know, weird and wonderful places that you can't get things like my old man's caravan into. So for us, it was about trying to find something that was small, compact, could fit in a certain place in our house, but take us to these awesome places that, you know, you normally can't get to. I sort of, when people say, would you buy it again? Would you go again? You know, it's in terms of the quality and, you know, the thing itself, it's been unreal. You know, I've taken it to places that people have tried to drag caravans into and caused all sorts of problems, or places that you're not supposed to drag camper trailers into and it gets to. It's super robust. I tow it behind my AMROC, you might have seen in the first video, and anywhere the AMROC can get to, this thing can get to without a doubt. And if you have sort of one of those 200 series, you're certainly going to go most places in Australia that's habitable. Ultimately though, I will say, you know, I think it all depends on your family situation. You know, those that can afford this much money, you know, there are some great options out for hybrid where you're sort of not in a canvas every day of the week. So if you are going to sort of places like this that's quite easy to get to, then maybe this isn't quite right for you. But if you're on the more adventurous side, you're looking to do all those great places that are really difficult to get to, this is certainly the sort of thing you want to be looking at. You know, we've had very limited issues. Like I said, the ladder, some issues, they sorted all that. The fridge slider broke myself, which cost me some money I had to replace. But other than that, we've had sort of very limited issues. I have seen over the sort of years, being following the Facebook page pretty closely, or the group page, there has been some concerns with support from Patriot. About 1.5 years ago, I think they outsourced their sort of servicing and delivery to a local dealership on the Gold Coast, and I've seen a dramatic improvement since they've done that. You know, I think they just grew too big for sort of trying to do that servicing in-house, and giving it to someone that maybe, you know, is more specialized, looks after a whole range of different vehicle manufacturers, has made a huge difference. So I think that's a huge positive. So yeah, wrapping it all up, we're still super happy with it. You know, if we had our time again, you know, I don't know whether we'd buy this, not because of anything other than it's just a little bit hard at times, and the type of camping we've done now that we've got the toddler has changed, and you know, that's good and bad. But certainly, you know, if you're looking for something that's, if you're adventurous and you're looking for something that's high quality, you know, I certainly wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't have a problem recommending you this. So thanks everyone for the video, and hope you have a great day.